Hey there, have you played Pokemon Cafe Mix? It's a new Pokemon puzzle game for smartphones. In the game, Pokemon are the cafe's customers and you serve them Pokemon themed food, like this Dugtrio sandwich trio with a side of tomato soup that I'm going to show you how to make today. Just like in the game, I'll have Eevee as part of my staff to help me make this meal. Most of the ingredients you should be able to find at your local supermarket, as I wanted it so everyone can make this meal. A couple of the ingredients are Asian dressings, but you can replace them with your own favorite dressing. Let's start with the tomato soup first, as you need to simmer it for a while. It's an easy and delicious 5-ingredient tomato soup. 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes from Safeway, 1 1/2 cups water, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. This is a whole onion, but you only need half of the onion. 1 teaspoon of salt. In my case, I use Himalayan rock salt. Let's start with cutting the onion, which is probably the hardest step in this recipe. Yep, it's just that easy to make it. After you peel the onion, cut off the ends that stick out. To cut your ingredients safely, put your hand in a cat's paw position when you're cutting. Cut the whole onion in half, as we only need half of it. Cat's paw. Then we cut the half onion into chunks. Separate the onions for easier cooking. Using our handy dandy can opener, we open our signature select whole peeled tomato can. For safety reasons, don't do what I did and use a knife to open the lid. Turn your stove on to medium. In your pot for tomato soup, put in 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter first. Stir the butter around a little to help it melt. Your onion chunks go next. After that, pour in your can of tomatoes. Mix up the ingredients inside the pot. Turn the heat down on your oven to simmer level. Pour in your 1 1/2 cups water. And lastly, add 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix up the ingredients inside the pot once more and let it simmer for 40 minutes. When the ingredients are done simmering, you'll need to add them to a blender. Take out all your ingredient chunks and put them inside a blender. It's okay to leave liquid inside the pot, as it will be mixed together later. Be careful when blending, as the contents inside will become very hot, as well as the outside of the container. Once it's done blending, you can add the contents back inside the pot and mix it up. If you want a smoother soup, after you mix it up, you can put it back in the blender for another round. That's how easy it is to make delicious and homemade tomato soup. Let's make the Dugtrio sandwich trio next. I tried a different couple breads and I found signature select French toast bread to be the best. To make it like the game, I needed to find bread that was similar in size, shape, and the color of the crust. You'll need 6 slices of bread, large pitted olives. For the dressing, I went with mayo and the Asian dressing goma and Kewpie mayo. Like I said before, you don't need to use these dressings and you can use your own dressing of choice. I used a large beefsteak tomato from Costco, but you can use any large tomato. For the cheese, I used Munster cheese from Costco, but it's your personal choice. You'll need 6 slices of cheese. For the lettuce, I chose romaine hearts from Costco, as I like the crispy texture of it. You'll need 6 leaves of lettuce. Lastly, signature farmed grape tomatoes. I started with cutting the lettuce. Separate the romaine lettuce and wash them. To measure where to cut the lettuce leaf, put it on top of the bread with a little bit sticking above the top of the crust. You want to cut it a little bit above the bottom of the crust. You can cut a small notch in the lettuce stem to make a guide for where to cut it. Cat's paw to hold the lettuce down when cutting. The remainder of the lettuce will not go to waste, as you can cut it up and save it later for a salad. Use the lettuce leaf you had just cut as a guide for 5 more leaves. Again, the rest of the lettuce won't go to waste, and don't forget the cat's paw. After you wash the tomato, put it on a cutting board flat side down. Hold the tomato down with the knife pointed away from you, then start cutting off the bottom. Flip it around and cut the top off the same way. With your cat's paw hand, hold the tomato down firmly on its side. Cut the tomato into 3 big, even slices. Big enough for a hungry Dugtrio. Cut 3 of the smaller olives lengthwise. Cut 2 grape tomatoes lengthwise as well. Lay out aluminum foil bigger than your French toast bread, as seen in my example. Squish the bread lengthwise to decrease the width and increase the length. Pat it down in the middle as well to help keep its shape. Wrap the foil around the crust of the now lengthened bread to keep its shape and to prevent it from burning. Put the bread in a toaster oven or oven on medium-low heat to brown the top. Timing between ovens vary, as mine took 2.5 minutes, so be sure to watch your bread to prevent it from burning. Be sure to watch your bread for when it gets a Dugtrio brown color and not burned. You want something like this. You will need to toast a minimum of 3 slices to get the sandwich appearance. Now we can assemble the Dugtrio sandwich trio. We'll start with the biggest Dugtrio member in the back. On the bottom slice of bread, spread your preferred dressing. Add a layer of lettuce leaf tucked in on the sides. Cheese, tomato, cheese, spread dressing on the untoasted portion of the top slice, lettuce, the top slice with the toasted side facing up. Take 3 toothpicks and put them in the sandwich. 2 will go near the top of the sandwich for eyes. The 3rd toothpick will go near the middle for the nose. Put half a grape tomato on the 3rd toothpick horizontally for the nose. Take 2 olive halves and put them on the remaining toothpicks vertically for the eyes. There you go, we have a Diglett sandwich. That's not what we want though, as we want to make a Dugtrio sandwich trio. With the sandwich being as wide as it is and with the toothpick sticking in it, it can now stand on its own. For the Dugtrio sandwich, you need to make the Diglets in the front a little smaller than the back one. Cut off a small portion of the bottom on the remaining slices of bread. After you finish making all the Diglett sandwiches, let's put them together to make the Dugtrio sandwich trio. That's it for the sandwich. It looks great. You now have a delicious and refreshing Dugtrio sandwich trio to eat based on the Pokemon Cafe mix game. It will certainly fill you up. Don't forget the hot tomato soup to accompany it. The first customer to our cafe is a Lowland Vulpix. Looks like she's enjoying the Dugtrio sandwich. That makes Evie and I very happy. I hope you enjoyed this guide to making your own Dugtrio sandwich trio. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. Look forward to more food and drink recipes from the game, Evie says. Did you make the sandwich? Wasn't it delicious? What food or drink do you want me to make next from the game? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching and see you cafe owners soon.